Hi, welcome to our channel. I'm Whitney.
I'm Angie.
And we're the Simple Teachers.
And today we're going to talk about 5 tips for new teachers. And we know teachers are getting ready.
Yep.
School year's getting started, so we wanted to help out those brand new teachers.
Yeah.
And we have 5 tips for you.
5 tips for you. So I'll kick off with tip number 1. Tip number 1 is something that I've done, but get an HP printer that is compatible with their Instant Ink program. So when I did this, I started saving a lot of money on my ink. What it is basically a subscription. There's different plans you can purchase per month, so depending on the number of pages you want to print. So instead of going to the store and buying the super expensive ink cartridges, I don't know, what do you pay for a set? Like
a lot.
60 to 100 bucks or more. Yeah. And which, if you do a lot of printing, if you're getting ready for the school year, that'll be gone like that.
Yeah.
So you pay a subscription per month, and I know I'm saving at least half per year. So before you go out and buy a new printer, or if you need a new printer, run out all that old ink, go buy one that's compatible with the Instant Ink program, and you'll save a lot of money, I promise. Because you're going to want some things printed in color.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of schools don't have color printers for you. So
perfect.
Tip number 1.
That's a good one. All right. Number 2, when you do have things that you need, ask for them. So I say this all the time. Ask your principal or the learning coach, whoever's kind of in charge of the budget. Tell them what you need and ask them for that. Because, I don't know, I was never turned down.
Yeah. I mean, I've received things like clipboards, book bags. So you just got to ask, hey, what's the worst they could say? No. And you say, okay.
And then if you have something that you really want and they're like, oh, we can't do that, write a grant.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
Within districts, there's even grants. State, there's always to get grants.
Yeah.
So
lots
of
ways.
ways.
Yep.
Great.
Okay.
Tip number 3 is figure out a good way to do planning weekly. So if you're planning day by day, that's going to burn you out. I use our planning template. I'll put a link below. And it just goes through Monday through Friday for each reading component. Phonemic awareness, phonics, fluency, comprehension. Goes through all the different components. And vocabulary, missed that one. And so I think, what's my core reading program asking me to do for the week? And I plug in my objective, or I like to put in my text titles I'm going to be using, because then I know my lesson is with that text, and I just plug it in. And so then I'm, number 1, saving time, because I'm not looking at every day. I'm looking at my entire week for reading instruction. I also like to plan a little bit every day. When I've waited till the end of the week, like a Friday, I don't get done. And so then I'm spending my weekends, my Saturdays at school. And that's not fun. And you get burned out.
Yeah, because then you don't have a life. You have to have a life, or else you will not keep teaching. And we want you to keep teaching.
Yeah. So plan for your whole week. And one tip that I've been using have been, on a Monday, I plan my phonics lessons. On a Tuesday, I plan something else. On a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, if I plan something little every day, I have little chunks of time every day I can give, but I can't plan my whole week before school starts or during recess or during my prep time. It's impossible. So if you think of a component and try to get that planned during that time, it's so helpful.
Yeah, I love that. Component planning.
Yeah,
perfect.
Component planning, that's a good way to call it.
Yeah. Great. All right. Next, number 4, we're going to mention procedures. We could do entire videos on procedures, and we might have to do a few. So you want to get your procedures, have them planned and ready, and then teach them well. So know what it is you're going to teach those first few weeks of school and get those procedures taught. Know how many procedures you can teach in a day. Maybe your first week of school, you can only do 1 or 2 a day. how to get in and out of the room, how to sharpen a pencil, how to put something away, where
Go to the
hand things
restroom,
in.
day
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, how to ask a question. I mean, we have every single procedure to teach at the beginning of the school year. So pace those out a little bit for yourself. Determine which ones you need at day one and
Yeah.
teach those, obviously, the beginning of the school year. But don't sit and do 15 procedures in one day. That's not good. They won't remember them. They won't learn them well. And then teach them using gradual release. I do. We do. And we stay in we do for a while.
Yeah.
We're going to we do. We're going to we do. And then have a little maybe spontaneous, how we doing without my help? And if they did well, great. We're ready to do it
Awesome.
every time. If not, we're going to go back to maybe I do it. And
That's
we
a great
do.
reminder. Yep, always model what you're expecting them to do,
Yeah.
whatever that procedure's for.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Tip number 5 is, what do you always say? Kids are
Weird.
Kids are just weird. Whatever grade level you teach, they're weird. Don't let that bother you, or embrace it. Some of you are so good at embracing. Others of you might be like, they get on your nerves sometimes, right?
Gotta love the weird.
Yeah, but we're in the profession of teaching kids, and kids are amazing. And we just need to remember that developmentally, meet them where they're at. What's appropriate for their age level? And when we believe that kids can learn, if we have that self-efficacy of ourselves, that we know we can teach kids, and we believe that they can learn, that is going to only help us enjoy where we're at. If we're not happy in the classroom, chances are a lot of learning might not be happening.
Yeah.
So embrace
Love the
every
weird.
student you have. Love them. Just remember, number 1, their age.
Yeah.
Meet them where they're at. But then we can, don't lower our expectations because they're 6 or because they're 10, whatever their age. Keep that expectation high, but just meet them where they're at.
Yep.
Love them.
Yep. Perfect.
Well, those were our 5 tips for new teachers, and I use these tips. I'm not a new teacher anymore, so I think any teacher can use these tips. But make sure you like this video, share this video, leave a comment. Where are you teaching? What grade level are you teaching? We'd love to hear. And subscribe.
Yeah.
Thank you. We're the Simple Teachers.
Simply teach.